Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the Hooks and Broomsticks Crochet Podcast number 51. It's been a while since I've done a crochet podcast, hasn't it? It's been a while. It's going to be a short, as far as my podcast go, it's going to be a short one too. But I had bits and bobs of this and that I wanted to talk about, and they didn't really fit into like one particular video heading, so I thought I would just do a podcast, and if I had something random to talk about, then hey, you know what, it's the podcast, and that would fit too. So mostly what I wanted to talk about was like some works in progress, but I have a finished object. It was a finished object a while ago. You guys have seen it last year for my movie marquee, but I am sending it along because one of my very dear friends and his girlfriend, who is also now a good friend of mine, they are having a baby, and she's actually going to have it this week. She was due later, but she's going to be induced this week, and so I'm sending it off tomorrow. Well, as you're seeing it, I'm probably sending it off today, or I might have sent it off yesterday. I don't know when this video is going up, but I will put a picture in. I know this is not a traditional baby blanket per se, but the colors that they wanted, she does not like pink, and it's a baby girl, and she had her baby shower was Lord of the Rings themed, and I wanted to finish that movie marquee blanket with Lord of the Rings, but I had first of all, I honestly, it's not that I forgot about the baby blanket, I forgot about it already being like March in, you know, a few days, basically like a week. Yeah, like a week and a day. As I'm filming this, it's like a week and a day. So I forgot about that, and apparently she's being induced even earlier anyway. So it didn't get finished, although this blanket is the same colors as that blanket, and she didn't want to know anyway, so she never knew that it was going to be that Lord of the Rings. So I think I'm going to actually finish it and also send that along like later. They don't watch my videos, so they're not going to know my plans. Yeah, I just, like, it's one of those time got away from me moments, you know? But, like I said, this fits the colors that, like, the only thing we discussed was colors, and that's it. So this fits the colors that she wanted. It was, when I had a goal to do more baby blanket-ish sizes, that was a much closer baby blanket-ish size. So like it fit that, checked off that box for, you know, that was a good reason to have it around. And yeah, so that she's going to get that this week, hopefully. And then she's going to get the Lord of the Rings one at a later date also. But just thought I'd mention that is another object leaving the house, so I was pretty happy about that. Not just to like get rid of it, but because, you know, they're going to enjoy it, and it is what they wanted, was, you know, the right colors and the right, they wanted one of my blankets, which I'm really happy about, because I think they wanted to buy it, and I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. You're getting a blanket. Like, he's been my friend for years and years and years. So yay. It's always nice when we have like stashes of, you know, blankets and gift type things that we can just have at the ready, right? So that saved my butt, I can tell you that, because, oh, I forgot. And here's the reason. The first thing I want to actually show you is a work in progress. Here, the reason that I have lost my mind forgetting time and place, basically, is because this is on a very strict time schedule between this and the movie marquee tile, which I just did the video for and should be uploading right now as I'm doing this, actually. So that you will see tonight, I believe. But that, obviously I have to get that done by the end of the month. This has to be done by March 23rd. You all know, if you've watched any of my videos recently, my friend who is in a rock band, Andy, is a big fan of my crochet stuff, which I love. Endears him and his friendship even more to me. And we had been talking about, like, at some point, you know, like, I had made him a hat, and he showed everybody and was so proud. And, like, I have the matching, whenever I'm wearing my purple and black hat, that's my matching bestie hat with him. And at some point I had said, like, I'll make you a blanket. And I was making him a blanket for his house in Las Vegas. He's a Vegas boy. Not originally, but I mean, he is now, because he actually moved there for the even warmer weather, because he does not like cold weather at all. And he's touring the Midwest in March, which will be a temperature shock for him. He does not enjoy that. The last time they toured, well, the very last time he toured was in August, because I got to see him for my birthday. But the last big tour he had was like full tour with my other friends in Fozzy, was in colder climate also, and he was not a fan of that. He was a fan of the tour. He wasn't a fan of the weather. So I had told him, I think then, that I was going to work on a blanket for him. And so I wanted to make him something with easy care, because this is meant to be like on the road with him. So I'm making it in different colors of Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill fiber yarn. Like this one is the color Plum, I believe. Yes, Plum. The other colors that I'm using are the colors, I think it's just called Purple, and then the color Charcoal Heather, I think is the other one, or Dark Gray Heather, or something like that. And I wanted it to be nice and warm and have like little holes in it and all that. So I decided, because I am a glutton for punishment, to do the Alpine Stitch, which I've never done before. I had heard it was a yarn eater, but I didn't realize how much of a yarn eater it is. And of course, the bunks on his bus are basically like a single bed. So I wanted it big enough to be something he can wrap up in on the tour bus. Now this does curl a little bit, and this is only half of it. So unfolded, it is much bigger. I'd say he can definitely wrap up in this, or, you know, when he's covered up, it'll definitely like go around him quite well. But here's how it's looking. So you should be able to see it pretty well right there. And like, even holding it up to my ring light, there's relatively no holes in it. Like it's, you know, I can see my ring light through it, but it's not a very holy project, right? And I'm going to do like this darker purple is going to be roughly this. This is 2 skeins of yarn. It's 2 skeins this size of the purple. And then there's 3 rows of the dark gray. And then I'm going to do 2 more skeins of yarn in the plum, and then 3 dark gray, and then switch back to the purple, and that's going to be the pattern. So it's just going to be like, you know, a kind of a classic stripe. And I believe I have enough of the gray to make a border in the gray around it. And yeah, that's going to be how the blanket looks. So I just wanted to show you, I'm quite proud of it. So I just wanted to show you guys the progress on it. The ends are driving me crazy. So now that I'm pretty sure I'm committed to the pattern, I'm going to sew in the ends, because I am a sew your ends in as you go kind of gal. And like there's extra ends, because like right here there was a knot. I don't trust knots. I always cut them out and then sew, you know, sew in like 3 different directions and all that for each end. And I just, all of these ends are driving me nuts. So plus I noticed the ends are, I mean, I know all yarn does it, but the ends are, this one's actually not. One of these ends is like really, really, really fraying a lot. That's this one. Like a lot. And I don't want it to start fraying all the way up. So yeah, I want to get it sewn in. But yeah, so that is the progress that I've got on this. And that's what's taking up almost all of my time. And it's so chunky, it's not something I want to take to work on my breaks, because like my breaks aren't very long and I'm interrupted a lot. And I've already had to kind of correct the pattern twice now, once in the light purple and once in the dark purple. So, because it's 200 stitches across. And one time in the light purple, my front posts were off. So I had to just like correct it because they were slanting over too much. And in the dark purple, I somehow added 2 stitches. So I had 202 stitches in 2 different rows. So I had to correct that before I ended up with extra posts. But I think my correction came out, like I can't even tell where that one is at all. So whatever I did, I undid it pretty well, I guess. And it's so, this blanket is so soft and nice. I really do like this yarn. So I'm a fan of it, I will say. It's not the first time that I've used Hobby Lobby anti-pilling, but yeah, or low pill, I should say. But anyway, that's my Andy blanket, and I'm a big fan of it, and I hope he likes it because I like it a lot. So I hope he really enjoys it. And it's because of that blanket that these other 2, I think, are still works in progress, because I was plugging along pretty good on them. They were both projects that I had started for the Great Fiber Cake Off. That if you haven't seen that video, I will try to remember to link it somewhere and have a card for it somewhere up here. If not, I will try to remember to link it down below. I have a video called The Great Fiber Cake Off that you can check out that explains it, but essentially that is my year-long make-along-ish thing challenge to you guys to start using our cakes of yarn. And I have, each month I have a place in the Facebook group to add a picture of things that you have made with cakes. The video explains it much better than what I'm doing, but yeah, and then I'm going to draw just a small prize. Like the real winning is using up a lot of our cakes that are sitting around, but I had started both of these projects just with, I mean, obviously I'm not entering my own drawing, but I still want to participate because that's my challenge to myself also. So I have been using one of my new cakes, the Karen Blossom cake, in the color, I believe the color is Blossom, also Blossoms. It's a very pretty color. And I have been knitting this, and this was the hat. I was going to knit it for David for Valentine's Day, but his gift came in. So like I've told him about it and he likes it and he's going to wear it and all that, but it wasn't his actual gift because his gift came in. Which his gift was I got him a custom made guitar strap if you can't tell, he's actually a pink kind of guy. So I got him a custom made pink guitar strap for his guitars. And then an accessory, I don't remember what it's called, but it goes on, it's like a piece of hardware that goes on the strap and the guitar. And they come in different shapes, but it comes in a set of 2, one for each end, I assume. And they're coffin shaped. They're like black coffins. So I got him that and the guitar strap for Valentine's Day. And yeah, this is just, anyway, back to the hat. It's a Ross hat that I'm very nearly done. And this is what I end up taking to work, just to work a couple rows on during my break. I'm not a fast knitter by any means, but I have knit. Most of the things that I've knit have been like Ross hats. And I like these cakes. I like the way they're coming out. I like the pattern, and I like how it's like a cooler color here and working up to the warmer pinks here in the midst of the purpley color. I didn't expect that, and I like, just by looking at it, I wouldn't have guessed that it would have knitted that way. But things look different knitted in crochet too, as we all pretty much know. So I need to do something with this tail. It's driving me insane. Hate tails. Do you guys sew your tails in as you go too? Or do you like leave it for the end? I know a lot of people leave it for the end. And I know some people really like sewing in tail. I hate sewing in ends, but I hate it more if I leave it for the end because I despise having them hanging everywhere. So I try to do it quite often. Maybe I don't do it, like especially when I'm working on like things that change color every row and stuff like that. I may not sew them in every row, but I'll sew them in as a group or something. But I try to sew them in quite frequently. I don't leave everything to the end. Sorry, I'm rubbing my hands. I'm getting, like, the room felt pretty good when I was really warm from being out there. But so I didn't turn my heater on in here or anything like that. But now I'm getting kind of cold. So I'm like, so that was one project that is, for the most part, kind of on the back burner a little bit just because of the Andy blanket. The other one that is on the back burner also because of the Andy blanket, but yet isn't, because, okay, so this is a project that has several videos to it, and I'm in the middle of one of the videos. So I still really want to get to the end, at least, of that video. So every couple nights, I do like a row or two of it still, even though I know I need to be focusing on the Andy blanket. And I'm almost to the end of the video, I think. I think I'm on, I don't remember if I'm on part 3 or part 4 of this, but this is the Sophies Universe cal that I'm doing. And I'm watching the videos on it. But I should just buy the pattern, quite frankly, also, and then I will just not have to worry about losing my spot in the video either. But I do have a tail here because, again, there was a knot in the cake, and I cut it out. And, oh no, that's a lie. Well, there was. I sewed that one in. This tail is because one of the spots where I had to join it, like, okay, so normally people use multiple colors on this, but I am using just a cake, right? So thus why it's one colorway of a cake. And this is a mandala in the color Sphinx, which I have a ton of, so it was a good excuse to use some of this colorway also. But sorry, I noticed there was like a piece of, there's like a splinter in my yarn. So I was decided I needed to pick that out like right then and there. So normally people change colors every row or so. And this one I must have ended like somewhere in here. And then she said, start in the corner. And like for a lot of them, I just have turned it around and slip stitched back, but it must have been too far at that point to do, or I was too irritated to do that, so I just cut it and started over in the corner. That's what that tail's from. So I have to sew that tail in, but this is how far along I've gotten in it. I think, since, you know, obviously the cake's color changing in its own, it's just obviously not every row. I have put out shorts. I've put out, what, 3 shorts of this? So this must be part 4, right? Unless I did the beginning and then showed when it was done. This is part 3 or 4. I don't remember which. I think this is part 4. Anyway, like it's still very detailed when you look at it and everything. I think it's gorgeous. I really like it like this. And then, like I said, the cake takes care of a lot of the color changing. It's just not every single row, but it gives it a whole like different look than doing it every single row anyway. And I'm almost finished with one cake. I bet I have like 12 of these. I really freaked out when I thought, for some reason, I think it's because Meyer put them on clearance like a couple years ago. And it was before I realized they did it when they changed like labels or just for whatever reason. Or like in Meyer's case, they just clearanced out a color. Like that didn't mean that Lion Brand was getting rid of it. Just Meyer's was. So it wasn't even a label change. They just, Meyer wasn't carrying it anymore. It's still, I'm pretty sure it's still at Walmart. At least it was at the time because I felt stupid. I was like, okay, Walmart's still carrying it, so I'm dumb. I don't have to worry about that because I have a ton of it. But yeah, I figured I would use it in the Sophies Universe cal. And I just keep holding it up because I like, especially like this blue right here. Like I really, really, really like that blue. So, and I'm a sucker, you know, I like the browns and everything. So I really like the browns with it. I'm normally not a blue person, but this being called Sphinx, and it does feel very like old Egyptian-y to me, just like with the sands and the blue, and I don't know, it just definitely appeals to me, so I like it a lot. And yeah, it's getting there. We're getting there. I'm using an H hook with it. And we'll just see what it ends up looking like. So I know obviously the color changes are going to be getting smaller as we go. I haven't color controlled anything as of yet. I don't usually color control, so I don't know if I'll feel the need to by the time we get bigger or not. We'll see. We'll see. But that's what I have so far. But after I finish this section, it will probably also go to the back burner until the Andy blanket is done. Because like I said, we're on a definite time constraint there, and my movie marquee will take some time away from the Andy blanket also, because I have to have that done in a certain amount of time too. So everything else is, it's like I am longingly staring at like my cinnamon swirl cakes because I want to start something so bad in those. And when I go into my yarn room upstairs, I keep staring at my whip bags because I want to get some of those projects done very badly. But yeah, I need to finish my Andy blanket, so that's what's taking precedence right now. But yeah, oh, you know what? I didn't bring it in here with me. I have something to open. I have a letter to open. So give me 1 second and I will be right back. Okay, so actually while I was out getting my letter, I found 2 other things that I wanted to show you guys too, but I'm gonna open my letter first. I'll show you the back, because it has a cute little heart sticker on it, and I just went to my P.O. box yesterday, well, Friday. And this is from Sarah, and I'm guessing, because I saw Samantha from Amethyst Craftworks open a letter from Sarah also. I am guessing there is a Valentine in here. I'm hoping that there is, because I was quite jealous. So I thought it was really cool. Let me see if I'm right. Yes! I won't show you the front because it has her address on it also. I don't care if my P.O. box gets shown, but this says, "You're a sweet friend," with a cupcake. And it says, the back says, to Heather from Sarah, "Happy Valentine's Day." I love that. And then I was very excited to see this. The Care Bears. Very like 80s reminiscent. Oh my gosh, I love it. And it, oh, there's, I love this. Hold on a second. Okay, firstly, Care Bears sticker. Look, aren't they cute? Now I will say, my Care Bear is not in here, but I bet he wasn't in the Valentines because my Care Bear is the grumpy one. The blue one. It's not Grumpy Bear, right? Is it Grumpy Bear? Grouchy's the Smurf that I like. So Grumpy might be the Care Bear's name. But I bet he's not any of them. But these are so cute. I love them so much. They're so, like, it's a different animation style, but they're still so 80s. But this, I didn't expect, was also in it. It's a stitch marker with a heart. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. And the same as Samantha, I believe you are the only person who has sent me an actual, like, old school Valentine. So I guess that makes you my Valentine. You're a lot of people's Valentine then. But that's really cool. That's really cool. I super love these. I'm gonna find something awesome to put my sticker on because I love the sticker. I mean, I'm going to keep everything. But thank you, Sarah. I love it. This is so cute with the cupcake. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I love it. I'm gonna put him in his envelope for right now so I don't lose him. Sit back here with my bat. Again, thank you so much. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys, I was pretty excited about finishing, and I realized I never brought it to a video to show you, but my battery is almost dying, so I better hurry up. If you remember, I had shown you the beginning of a collaboration between David and myself, where he did some woodworking for me. Because, like, back when I was a kid, 80s, 90s, I'm sure they still have them today, but I just don't really notice them anywhere. They were like in banks everywhere when I was a kid and whatnot, but they always had calendars where they would like have a block at the top that had the month, and then they had like 2 blocks or 3 or 4 depending, where you could turn them around and they had different numbers on them, so you could see the you could make a date out of it, right? So David made me a version. I have wanted forever a Halloween one. And the only things we could find similar were like countdown to Halloween, which, I mean, I have my countdown that you see in like all of my vloggy videos. But I did not want a countdown to Halloween. I wanted a calendar. So David made the woodworking frame. We bought, okay, I'm gonna slide one out. We bought these from Menards, and I bought different ones. Like this is a vampire. I bought Frankenstein, a jack-o'-lantern, and a ghost. So they're different colors. David made me these sticks, which I promise all this has a reason that I painted. This one in the light looks a little iffy, but they look much cooler not with a ring light on them, I promise. And I painted them different Halloweenish colors. And then I went and found scrapbooking letters and numbers. So let me show you what we ended up coming up with. Hopefully I don't make this fall apart. The frame David made and painted. I painted the sticks and I put on the stickers. But like, it's harder to see on the purple. But like, I mean, February's was purple, sorry. And I turned around the one at the bottom, but like, so there's March. That one's January. But I have the different months all up in here. I'm gonna put February back because it's still February. And then, yeah, I got numbers. I filled in some extra numbers down here just so I could have different choices for faces too. Like some days these have been the numbers, and I've had like the Frankenstein and the Dracula face showing. But yeah, like today is February 20th. Did I change this right? Yeah, today is February 20th. Well, actually it's the 21st because it's after midnight. So I can slide this one out. And I mean, there is a 1 on this one, so I could keep it the same. But like, here's the Frankie face. So it's the 21st now. So I have a calendar. So I wanted to show you guys because it's finished, unless I decide to put a seal. If I find a fine glitter spray sealant, I kind of want to do that and make it extra sparkly because that's me. But otherwise it's done. And then speaking of sparkly, I always show you guys when I get new tarot decks. Look at the top of this, if it shows it. Can you see that? Can you see that? I'll just real quickly show you this, because I know like tarot is not everybody's thing. And because my battery's about to die. But this is what I had been looking for. I bought a deck called like a diamond flare deck off of Etsy. And it ended up being like literally where the pictures looked like this. They weren't sparkly per se. They were just printed like this. And I was disappointed. It did end up saying it exactly in the description that they wouldn't be glittery. So I just didn't read it. So that was my own fault. But look, these are actually holographic. And they may be so holographic that you can't, I don't know if you'll, they're traditional, if you're familiar with tarot, they're the traditional Rider-Waite cards. You can kind of see it. But they are holographic, glittery, sparkly. So yeah, I won't, like, I'll just show you, the whole deck is like that. And then the back has a holograph theme to it too. It has an eye and like a cosmic. I don't particularly love designs with eyes, but there was no other choice. Like, honestly, if it had just been the space without the eye, it would have been just fine with me. I'm not creeped out by them. They're just not my favorite thing. But I'm okay with it. And because I found this deck, I'm pretty stoked. So I'm more than okay with it. So yeah, I'm really happy to have found it. And I don't know, thought I would share that with you. And that's also on Etsy, actually. But there are glitter decks out there. It's called Crystal Tarot Deck by Dark Forest. Dark Forest is the Etsy person. So, just wanted to share that. Anyway, my battery is about to die, and this actually did end up being a fairly long Hooks and Broomsticks podcast, so I will let you guys go. But thank you for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed pretty much everything. I know like not everybody is here for the tarot-y stuff or anything, but I did have a decent amount of yarn things, so all right, I will talk to you guys later. You know that I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.